The homeless child and their right to education is what I chose to do my class project on. Definition of homelessness. The term homelessness means a child or a youth or individuals that lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Also includes anyone that shares housing, motels, hotels, parks, cars, abandoned buildings, etc. As far as the shared housing, that also includes someone that's an immigrant and comes from another country, say El Salvador. There are refugees that come from El Salvador and they live with an aunt or an uncle. In this country, they are considered homeless because it is really not their residence. Factors that contribute to homelessness: lack of affordable housing, poverty, domestic violence and abuse, family instability, mental illness, incarceration of parent or guardians, lack of social supports, and natural disasters. There are currently 42% of homeless children are under the age of 6 in this country. African American children disproportionately experience homelessness. Homeless families are more likely to be led by a single mother in her 20s with young children. McKinney-Vento Act. It requires the states to provide homeless children with the same access to free education as is available to other students. This McKinney-Vento Act also includes transportation to and from the school of origin. Immediate enrollment is required even if the child is missing documentation, including their birth certificate, their immunizations, or any other required documents to enter school. Students are to remain in the school of origin the entire year or until the end of any academic year in which they move into any type of permanent housing. Students also under the McKinney-Vento Act have access to all programs, including special education, gifted and talented, and Title I funding programs. Children are also eligible for free lunch programs, school supplies, assistance with obtaining birth certificates, and their immunization records. Homeless children are also to be included in the state assessment system, including the new PARCC testing. Just a little case study. John is a 6-year-old boy who lives in Hackensack until his mother recently lost her job in her apartment. They have relocated to Patterson, where they will be temporarily living with his aunt. John is a McKinney-Vento candidate as he is only living temporarily with his aunt. He may be enrolled in the Patterson School District, however, since Hackensack is his school of origin, meaning that's where he became homeless, his mother decides to allow him to finish out his remainder of the school year in Hackensack. Hackensack is financially responsible for providing transportation for John to continue to attend school in Hackensack. The proposed budget under the new administration. Drastic cuts are currently being proposed to fund public education. Many of the homeless students will be affected because they are products of public education system. McKinney-Vento Act does not include private schools and charter schools. The poorer districts often have waiting lists and are filled to capacity. Time for us to act on behalf of the children that have already experienced stress and trauma. With the new proposed budgets, they have decided to cut millions and millions of dollars. I am pleading with the Education Secretary, Betsy DeVoe, to re-examine the proposed budget and the allocation of those funds. These children are already poor and cannot afford the charter schools. Their lists are long to get into a charter school. Private schools do not fall under this act. All of the funding is going to be affected, including McKinney-Vento and Title I funding. The proposed budget, these millions of dollars are being allocated to private schools. These children, these homeless children, or these displaced children of that have migrated to this country, or they do not have access to a private school or even a charter school at this point. They deserve the same education as a child that was born here or a child that has a house. They are already facing undue stress and trauma from being moved from their home and having to adjust. This is just one more fight that they have to endure. How many minutes?
Hold on.